Welcome, everyone. Good boy, Tucker. This is learning at its most fun.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for another edition of Building Your Tech Stack with Redtail CRM. I'm your host, Austin Johnson, trainer and subject matter expert here at Redtail Technology. Today, we have our friends from Bento Engine to talk about using technology to power human engagement. And so if you joined us last year, you got to get a preview into the new integration with Bento Engine that is all about delivering client-centric advice, timely, to our clients based off of certain life events happening, like turning a certain age or something changing about their life. And so today we're going to talk about that integration more, give some best practices around using that integration, and we may even have a sneak peek into what is to come with that integration. And so joining me today is co-founder of Bento Engine, Philip Hecker. Philip, good morning.
Austin, great to see you. Hello there to Redtail and out to Redtail Nation on the lines.
Yes, and I think we have Derek joining us too. He'll be working in the background and joining us shortly. But Philip, let's get started with you and you co-founding Bento Engine. Can you just give us a little bit of background as to how Bento Engine got started and what value it creates for advisors?
Absolutely. Looking forward to this discussion today. By way of background, I spent the past 15 years on Wall Street at Deutsche Bank and JP Morgan in a number of capacities. At JP Morgan, for example, I served as global head of strategy and business development, and I founded and led an org unit called Wealth Planning and Advice, which included, Austin, all the financial planning teams across the private bank, the JPMS broker-dealer business, and the vast Chase network. It also included units such as the Philanthropy Center and the Advice Lab. You may have heard of them. Think of them as think tank type units that develop the advice that advisors then pass on to their clients. I'm sharing that because during that time, I've really seen the power of comprehensive, holistic advice at work. The magic that happens when advisors do the right thing and serve their clients comprehensively. When you think about client outcomes, client experiences, they're way better, and advisors win via loyalty, referral rate, and share of wallet. So again, if and when human advisors do the right thing and connect with their human clients on human topics, everybody wins. How does technology fit into that equation? Well, technology in general and Bento Engine in particular can help client-centric advisors be more human, be more often, and I hope that comes through in today's demo.
Into it. Let's see the demo of Bento Engine and show us how you are helping equip advisors to give that timely advice.
Awesome. I'll happily do so. To give you a feel for the arc of today's discussion, I will spend a few minutes in PowerPoint bringing the conceptual piece to life. I'll then flip over into an in-tool demo in the great Redtail system before I hand it over to our partner and friend, Derek Notman, for some invaluable advisor perspectives from the front line. Time permitting, at the end, we'll also launch our next program and get you up to speed on that one. So I trust that you all can see a PowerPoint building up. That seems to be the case. In terms of our mission, we're very mission-driven. We're focused on bringing better advice beyond investing to more American families via their client-centric caring advisors, so that families thrive and advisor practices grow. That is our true north. In terms of the team, 3 multidisciplinary co-founders, a mix of deep wealth management experts, cutting-edge technologists, and seasoned serial entrepreneurs. And at the bottom of the page, as you can see, we're also blessed to have a very large and active and supportive advisory council of multifunctional industry leaders that are supporting us on our journey. By way of context, very important here in the US, there are 15 H points that matter because they trigger distinct wealth management risks or opportunities. These 15 age points range from 0 on the left all the way to 72 on the right. And as you can see on the right, there's roughly 10 age points that are related to retirement. And on the left of the page, there are 5 age points that relate to the coming of age of the next generation of the client family. So if you are truly serving your family well, you will want to make sure on the left of the page that when the kids turn 14, you reach out to the parents and them with guidance on how to get working papers, which they may need depending on the laws of the state that they live in, to then legally start earning income, and then perhaps consider putting that legally earned income into custodial IRA accounts under the kid's name so that the kids get to enjoy the power of tax-deferred compounding for decades to come. So again, by context, 15 age points that matter, 10 on retirement, 5 are wonderful opportunities to connect with the next generation of the client family. Does everybody do that work today? No is the short answer. We surveyed older, wealthy Americans that are in an actively advised relationship. And as you can see here on several key topics, even advised clients are not always being advised. That is a massive gap, a massive need that we want to reframe into an opportunity. You can lead with advice in your prospecting efforts and make sure that all your, not only clients, but also prospects are getting the advice they deserve on the topics that matter in their lives that represent real wealth management opportunities. So again, let's reframe this gap into an opportunity. What to do about it? Use technology. Here is how Bento works. Bento on the left of the page lets you, the advisor, continue to use your Redtail CRM as is. There is no new system to learn, no new sign-on. You continue to live and breathe in your Redtail. All that we do is via APIs, we connect into the backend of your CRM. There, our advice engine, our algorithm constantly scans your entire book of business to identify upcoming advice opportunities. When we find one, we pull the right content from our proprietary content library, and then with a lot of timing expertise, very proactively alert you back in the CRM via a task, via an activity, so that you are A, aware, and B, equipped with everything you need to execute on the opportunity. Again, no new system to learn. If you know how to use Redtail, and I know you do, then you know how to use Bento engine. At this point, let me pop over into my beautiful Redtail demo environment and bring the solution to life for you within Redtail. Did you follow me into Redtail, Austin? Beautiful. So it's Monday morning. After your third cup of coffee, you fire up the beast, you dive into your CRM, and probably if you're half organized, I know many of you are, you'll go to your activities list, your to-dos for the day. As you can see here, many of them have nothing to do with Bento. They have everything to do with your regular course of business. However, then you also see on the right here and on the left indicated with the H points, many Bento alerts. The alert, the activity always gives you the H point, the advice opportunity, and who this pertains to. If for whatever reason you simply do not want to advise Marilyn on making RMDs, you simply delete the task and move on with your day. If, however, let's say age 50 catch-up contributions for Hetty catches your eye, Hetty is a really good client, you haven't spoken to her in a while, and you haven't advised yet on catch-up contributions, then you simply follow this task. Let me blow this up a little bit on the screen here so that we can see the full alert structure. The structure of the Bento alerts is always the same. Hey, your good client Hetty will be turning 50 in 6 months' time. In case you haven't had a chance yet to advise on catch-ups, now would be the right time. And then we give you links to compliance pre-approved impactful materials coming in multiple formats that I'll bring to life for you in a minute. We wrap it up with some best practices, oftentimes around financial planning, trust and estate and insurance. And we build a mental bridge to the monetizable solutions that may matter in that dialogue. Make no mistake, we're never pushing any one product here. It's all about leading with advice. However, when you lead with advice on making catch-up contributions at age 50, not always, but oftentimes, you may walk away with IRA rollover opportunities, and we want you to be mentally prepared for that. You as the advisor can now say, great, thank you, Redtail, for that automatic activity. I was close to forgetting that my good client Hetty is about to turn 50, and I haven't advised on catch-up contributions yet. Hetty is a visual learner. She actually likes to look at stuff. So let me follow link number 4, and hopefully pretty quickly, a PDF or PowerPoint opens up for you. Did you follow that, Austin? Do you see the PDF? Excellent. The materials are always short and sweet, a page or 2. They're always client-ready, compliance pre-approved, ready to go. They're always a mix of bullet points and graphs. They're always 3 sections. Number 1, what's going on at this age point? Here we're talking catch-up contributions. Number 2, why bother? What's the economic benefit of getting this right? Another way to think about it, Austin, what is the quantifiable value add that you as the advisor bring to the table by advising on this topic at this point in time? Last not least, action steps. How do you actually implement and get it done? On the last page, we always keep everybody safe, disclaimer, further reading, the key underlying sources, and current as of. That is to be used if Hetty is a visual learner. She actually enjoys looking at PowerPoint pages. Guess what? Not everybody enjoys looking at PowerPoint pages. For those who may warrant a phone call or a Zoom conversation, you would follow link number 2 and talking points pop up for you. These talking points allow you as the advisor to frame the conversation, and then they literally spoon feed to you the key messages to relay in a impactful dialogue on making catch-up contributions. If Hetty is a email constantly on the go, living in her inbox type of person, you follow link number 1 and grab a short email. What you do here is grab the email and in red, customize the intro and the outro to personalize it. The rest, again, is compliance pre-approved and locked. Last not least, Austin, if it's been a while since you last advised on making catch-up contributions, if you would like a little refresher yourself, then you follow the link to the advisor FAQs, which are our most technical documents, 10 pages or so. Think of them as a cheat sheet for the back pocket of the advisor, organized around the what, the why, and the how. And if your eyes are very good, it's simple FAQ style. Here, our subject matter experts always cite the underlying US back tax code so that everybody can backtrace what is the advice actually based on. Wonderful training tool for your younger advisor colleagues, for new advisors to the firm, helping lift everybody's boat when it comes to the understanding of these important financial planning topics. There you have it, Austin. I hope you concur. Deep, sensible integration into your Redtail CRM. No new sign-on, no new system to learn. Timely, proactive alerts that present to you wonderful engagement opportunities, to engage and serve your clients and your prospects with multi-format materials ready to go. Before I pause and invite our friend Derek Nutman in, let me toggle back over to the PowerPoint. Did that open back up for you? Excellent. I'm going to round out the story by talking a bit more about the content. Right now, the content is comprehensive, over 400 pieces. Why? It's all these age points times all these, formats. And then sometimes you actually need to be state specific in the advice that you render. So we have 29 different states up and running. We build and maintain the materials via a pool of recognized subject matter experts. Some of them you see at the bottom of this page. I want to emphasize here and maintain, because laws and regulations change all the time. And when they do, our subject matter experts update the materials quickly so that our clients can serve their clients always with the latest and greatest materials. Should pricing be on your mind? It's a traditional SaaS seat-based, revenue model. List price is $99 a seat a month, discounted down to $70 a month a seat if you prepay an entire year. In terms of break-even math, obviously that always depends on your average client size, ROA, and marginal profitability levels. But broadly speaking, between a quarter to half a client per year, defended, deepened, or gained for the solution to make sense. We typically charge a one-time upfront implementation and customization fee. However, for Redtail users, if you choose to work with us over the next 4 weeks and cite the code RedtailRocks, we'll waive that one-time fee. Rave reviews from industry experts and users. They really enjoy what we do. They really benefit from how we enable them to serve their clients and prospects. And as a pausing page, I pull up this value proposition piece as we invite Derek Notman in for some voiceover. From our perspective, Bento helps you drive organic growth. For clients, they benefit from better client experiences and better outcomes. And on the right of the page here, you as the advisor benefit in multiple ways as well. That's a tour de force through the state of play of the Bento offering. Before we do the world reveal of the next program in a few minutes, let's wave to our common friend, Derek Notman. Derek, thank you for joining.
Hello, Philip. Thank you so much for having me. Stoked to be here. Love what you guys are doing. Yeah, I mean, like, how can I help advisors learn a little bit more about this? Should I just talk a little bit more about like my real world experience? I've been using Bento for a while now.
Nothing beats the real world experience from a thoughtful, tech forward advisor out in the trenches. Why don't you perhaps talk about the onboarding experience, the learning curve, and then any traction, stories you may have had, experiences you may have had with Bento already?
So onboarding is actually pretty darn easy. So here's one of the things I love. I love a lot of stuff about Bento, but one of the things I really like is that as advisors, we have so many different technology things we have to add to our tech stack. And every time we add a new technology, we have to learn it. There's the learning curve. There's time to bring it on board, blah, blah, blah. And what's really cool about Bento is, like in this example, so I'm a Redtail user, but I know you guys have more than just Redtail as an integration, is that all I have to do is log into Redtail. I don't have a separate Bento like thing I have to log into, which is really cool. So onboarding was easy. You guys handheld, got me set up very quickly and easily. And now literally I just go to my activities tab and I see what Bento alerts I have and I work through those. So there's no additional tech you have to learn. The fact that you're waiving your onboarding fee is wicked awesome. So that's really cool. Don't worry, folks, I'm not getting paid for this, but it's really cool. Like that's brilliant. So very easy onboarding. They hold your hand to get it set up. So you don't even know how to spell tech and they will help you get it taken care of, which I love. Redtail is already easy to use as it is. So bringing this into it just makes it really simple. As far as like, how do I use it? Well, we have all the different alerts that are in there. And what I have done is I've set up an automatic task for myself where I go in every Monday morning and I check all of my Bento alerts. And I go through and say, all right, which client, do I want to reach out to? Have I already talked to this client about it or not? And then as Philip just showed, I literally can click in, and I'm huge on email. So I tend to use the email option, and I will customize the email, personalize it, which is really easy other than putting in their name. There's almost nothing you have to personalize because you guys have done the work. And then I send off the email. It's that simple. And then I check off that I've done the alert. So I do that once a week. Obviously, you guys could set that up however you wanted to do it. So very easy to use. I'm looking at it once a week, keeping on top of it. But what are some results, right? What has the feedback been? And so here's something I struggled, and I think a lot of advisors struggle with, is that typically we're only reaching out to our clients to sell something. And even though we say we're not selling something, like it's just a review meeting, or it's just this, or it's just that, we know deep down there's part of us that is like, God, I got to sell something here. My time is valuable, and it doesn't feel great. What I love about Bento is that it's giving me a reason to contact my clients, to educate them about something that's extremely important to them that I know is on their mind, without selling something. But what's funny is that the sales actually happen. So I've had a number of Social Security ones and stuff like that happen with Bento alerts this last year. And because of that, I've had people respond, be like, Derek, this has been on my mind. I've been thinking about retirement. I don't know what to do. And it opens up these really thoughtful conversations, but we led with advice. And so I have a couple rollovers that are happening because of it, for example, that may not have happened. That may not have actually gathered that information. And those rollovers, like in the next 4 weeks, will be about $4 million of AUM coming in.
Hallelujah.
Right. And it's because I led with this advice stuff, hey, and some of these things I'm not an expert on, by the way. Right. So when I get these alerts, I'm like, wow, I'm learning something new. I'm able to present it in a way to my clients that's really educational and conversational. And then it just leads to good stuff.
Derek, thank you for corroborating that thesis that if and when you lead with advice, everybody wins.
Everybody wins. I have a client who, one of the ones, because of these Bento alerts, she's like, Derek, I'm selling my company, in the next month. This Social Security stuff has been on my mind. Taxes have been on my mind. So instead of me just doing a general review meeting, hey, here's your rate of return, blah, blah, blah. No, there's real valuable stuff here. This is a huge transition for him, and not only selling his company, but having to go on to Social Security. And what does that all mean? This is what's on their mind. They want help with this stuff. And when we lead with advice and you guys queue it up for us, let's face it, when you have a lot of clients, it's very easy to let stuff fall through the cracks. Bento has filled all those cracks up, and now I just have them and I get to go. And so, anyway, I could talk on and on. I apologize. I just love
Awesome, Derek. Thank you for sharing all that. Austin, any questions at this point from your end?
Yes. I was just going to add as well, when we give timely advice, it's usually people have friends and family who are also, like in Derek's example, right? We have 65-year-olds who might be reaching that that Social Security age. They probably have a friend or a close relative who might also be in that same boat. And so when you give them timely advice, they might pass along that advice and say, hey, where'd you hear that advice from? Oh, well, my advisor Derek told me about it, right? So it's also a wonderful way of generating additional referrals.
That sounds awesome. Looking at the Q&A box here, which is firing up, let me say, Christine, what new milestones are you working on? Hold that thunder. We'll get there in a few minutes, the big reveal. An anonymous attendee is asking, Derek, how much time would you say you spent on making sure the CRM data is up to date before, unleashing Bento over it? Did you have to do any data massaging, any data cleanup, I think is the question.
Yeah, I didn't. It was really easy. And I mean, you can talk more to this, Philip, but a lot of the alerts are age-based. So unless and I'm not going to mess up your other reveal here in a moment, but unless your CRM is a disaster from a date of birth perspective, which hopefully it isn't, hopefully we got that part figured out. It didn't take any additional work for me at all. Actually, I was good to go. So hopefully your CRM is already ready to go from that perspective.
Absolutely. Let me add an observation from my angle, which is by now, all parties we work with, 41 firms and counting on platform, they have very good data on their clients in the CRM that tends to be in very good shape, readily available, and we can unleash the program. On the prospecting front, different story, let's be honest, a much more heterogeneous picture when it comes to data quantity and quality. on the prospect side. We now observe many firms that up their game on the prospecting front in terms of data gathering and inputting to be able to do what they do on the client side for prospects as well. I think that's a nice benefit of using Bento, that you uplift your general CRM posture. We have a great question regarding pricing for multi-advisor teams. There, I would say the price point I shared with you are for small individual teams. As you go into larger firms, of course, there are size breakpoints that we would be happy to discuss with you. And of course, your headquarters could negotiate a firm-wide deal that you then benefit from. I should also emphasize here that the seat license, we only charge for the lead advisor seat that the contacts are coded into. Whatever your support structure might be, junior advisors, sales assistants, and so on, we empower, we enable those for free. Last question to potentially address here at this point is from Lance. Are timely alerts already created for us in Redtail? Austin, I'm not sure how to, address that. Maybe you want to take it?
Sure. So the common question is can there be automation set up based off of ages? So for example, when my client turns 65, can I get an automation to maybe launch an activity or workflow? Currently, that does not exist as a feature in Redtail CRM. However, if you add the Bento engine, I'll call it an overlay, Philip, then yes, that does empower you to be able to have some of those timely alerts like that Philip just demonstrated.
Exactly. I would answer it the same way, Lance. Think of us as an Intel inside. We plug into your CRM and make it work even harder for you. Now, Christian, what new milestones are you working on? Maybe we use that as a lead-in.
Drum roll, please.
The next big, drum roll reveal. I am going to screen share again. Can you all see this presentation?
I got to see this earlier today, Philip, with your CTO.
Gavin Hay is a good man. I'm glad you guys connected.
Yes.
So we have live in numbers, the very program I just talked you through. We have two derivatives of that. One is a direct-to-consumer version of the live in numbers program. So if you have very large prospect databases that you're working, if you serve thousands, tens of thousands of retirement plan participants that you may want to proactively advise, we can launch for you a digital version, a direct-to-client version of Bento, where we would send on your behalf from your email system the age-based alerts, attachment, PDF, and then you play catcher to the diamonds in the rough that get, unearthed that way. So think about a automatic high-scale version of the Bento system to potentially run over your large prospect or retirement plan participant basis. That's program number 2. Program number 3, children and wealth, a topic I am very passionate about. We're launching soon a new program where you, as the advisor, will receive every 2 years, as the kids of your clients turn 4, 6, 8, 10 years of age, an alert and a guidance package, an information package, an activity package that you can share with the parents. So if the parents are interested in age-appropriate information, guidance, and activities to do with their children around the topics of money and wealth, then you as the advisor can send that to them and build long-term financial competencies and wellness in your client family that is much, much needed. Those first 3 programs are all system triggered. They basically hinge on the date of birth. We're now launching, and it's a world first here for Redtail, a new program around life events, which guess what? Focuses on life events. Getting married, divorced, moving to Florida, off to college, buying a business, selling a business, buying a home, selling a home, parents getting sick. You get the joke. There are roughly 24 life events that not always, but oftentimes happen in the lives of your clients. And when they do, they represent, again, wonderful advice, needs, and opportunities, and oftentimes wonderful money and motion type events too. So you, as the advisor, want to be well equipped. to support your clients or prospects through those experiences. So what to do about it? We built a program where we complement our 15 H points that matter on top with, over time, 24 live events that matter in the lives of your clients as well. These lines, these live events are birthday based up here, so they're hard coded. Down here, it's much more fluid. When your first job comes, tends to be in the early 20s, sometimes sooner or later. When the marriage comes, might be in the mid 20s, sometimes later, sometimes sooner. You get the joke. They're not as predictable. However, they matter. So here's what we do about it. We build 24 live event set of materials to support you and your clients in moments that matter. We will enable in your CRM a functionality where you checkmark at the contact level a certain live event happening. We're using the tag functionality, Austin, for that. So that when you have lunch with a prospect or client and get the hunch that a divorce might be on the horizon, you go into your Redtail CRM and you tag that contact. And then minutes later, all the materials will be served up for you so that you can pick the best format to advise and shine on that particular opportunity. We will launch this program with 10 live events that you see listed down here. And then we will build it out over time, roughly 2 additional topics coming per month. That is live events in an essence, again, deep integration into the CRM. The trigger is you, the advisor, picking up that a certain live event will matter in the lives of your clients and prospects. You mark it in the CRM, and then the CRM will provide to you all the materials you need to shine. And that was the wonderfully insightful, I hope, 35 minutes we spent together today. Let me pause here and see, Austin, if there are additional questions, or Derek, from your end, any potential additional comments.
Thank you, Philip. That was awesome. I love getting a sneak peek into what's to come and actually what's partially available now with those new 10 life events. I think those are going to be a game changer for a lot of advisors. I had a question on my end. So you mentioned whenever one of these life events happen, right, we tag the contact, we apply a tag or a tag group to those contacts, and then that content is delivered to us. Does that come in the form of an activity, just like with the life events, or sorry, the age-based triggers?
Spot on, Austin. We're trying to keep it simple and consistent. Spot on. And then the activity will have likewise the links to the multiple versions of the materials.
Awesome. Thanks, Philip. In case you want to get in contact with Bento Engine, have additional questions that you want to connect with online, go to bentoengine.com or email info@bentoengine.com. Well, gentlemen, I don't see any more questions, so we'll go ahead and put a cap on today. Philip, Derek, thank you so much for your insights. Thank you for sharing Bento Engine with us and all of the wonderful things that it can do. We hope to have you back real soon, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their day.
Thank you much. All the best to Redtail Nation. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for joining us today for this particular session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 800-206-5030, option 3 for support, or just shoot us an email over to support@redtailtechnology.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.